All right, hey y'all. For this portion of the lesson on creating the illusion of depth, you are going to need a pencil, an eraser, a piece of paper, and a ruler, okay? Now I'm going to draw just a circle in the middle of my page, and that's what you are also going to do. Just a dot, just a little dot. Next, you are going to draw a line through that dot. Just a line. There you go. Now, the dot is called the vanishing point. The vanishing point. I'm going to go ahead and label it. Go ahead and label yours also. The dot is the vanishing point. And we'll talk more about that later. That's the vanishing point. Go ahead and write that. Push pause if you need more time. Now, the rest, this line is called the horizon line. Horizon line. Horizon line. Okay. Go ahead and write down horizon line as well on your piece of paper. Push pause if you need to so you can get caught up. It sounds like Verizon, which is the name of the cell phone company. It is not Verizon. It is horizon. Horizon line. Say it with me. Horizon line. Vanishing point. Good. All right, so with these two lines, go ahead and leave your two vocabulary words here, horizon line, vanishing point. Go ahead and leave those. Don't erase them. We're going to keep them. You're going to use your ruler now. Let's go back here. And I'm going to have you line up your ruler with your vanishing point. Hold it with your other hand so it doesn't move. You might have to hold it in one place and hold it in another place. You don't want it to move. And you are going to draw a straight line at a diagonal from your vanishing point toward the bottom of your paper. All right, go ahead and do that. Push pause anytime you need to. After that, you are going to line up your paper again, line up your ruler again with that vanishing point, and you're going to do another diagonal on the other side. So we have one diagonal on the right side. Now we're going to do another diagonal on the left side. Again, hold your ruler in place with your other hand, and you're drawing again from the vanishing point, a diagonal line along your ruler to keep it straight towards the bottom of your paper. There you go. All right, now what does this look like to you? What do you see? Does it look like it could be a road going off in the distance? It could be. All right, a lot of people usually see a road as if they are standing here and they are looking all the way down to the end of the road. Now, when we look at railroad tracks or rivers that go straight, or even roads that are going straight, they have a vanishing point. Our eyes cannot see that far, and these lines, even though they look parallel, the points are parallel to each other, off in the distance, the lines converge. They're converging lines that meet at an end point. Okay. All right, so we are going to add a fence line along the left side. All right. So we are going to, again, line up our ruler with your vanishing point. You don't want it too close to your road, okay? So create a little bit of an acute triangle right here So right here from your vanishing point, you're gonna come all the way down again to the bottom of your paper. Let me make sure I'm zoomed out. Go up, boop, 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 boop. Okay, so again, you're holding your ruler with your other hand, and you're gonna draw a straight line, a diagonal line, but it needs to be straight. That's why we use our ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you could use the side of a book or the side of a box. I've done that before. If you have a notebook, you could use the cover of the notebook for your straight line, okay? It just needs to always go through your vanishing point. All right, you are going to draw one more, quite a bit above this one, okay? This is the fence line. So again, going through the vanishing point right here. All right, keep these lines light if you can. We don't want them to be too dark. I'm making mine dark because I want you to be able to see it in the video. Sometimes the lighting in here can get a little bit yellow, so I'm pressing harder. All right, we are gonna draw the first part of our fence. So you need to have your ruler up and down just like this. It should not be slanted. You don't want it turning this way. You want it as straight as possible. So you want your ruler, the line that you are going to create with your ruler needs to be parallel to this line right here. So the line of the side of your paper right there, you want the line that you create with your ruler to be parallel with it. That means the lines are side by side, perfect distance apart. You're gonna draw, oops, let me correct this. Let's see here, we don't want our fence that far away. So we are gonna scoot over here. And again, we are doing a straight line for the first post of our fence. So this is going to be the first post of the fence. So I'm going to do another line just next to it. There we go. And as y'all know, I have shaky hands. So if I can draw two straight lines that are parallel, I know you can too. Now this is part of our fence. I'm going to give it a little bit of space, and I'm going to draw two more lines that are parallel to each other, okay? Go ahead and color those lines in. Just like that. Now after you color those in, you're gonna line up with your vanishing point again, but this time you are not drawing a line that goes straight through to the edge of your paper. Instead, you're using that vanishing point as a guide for your fence. So you're just putting two lines right here between your fence posts. So again, that's my one part of my fence, and now I'm drawing another one. But it needs to line up with my vanishing point every single time so that the perspective is correct. Now I'm gonna thicken that line just a little bit like this. Okay, so this is the first part of my fence. I'm going to line it up again. Just like this, I'm creating another part of that fence post, but I'm making sure it's always lined up with my vanishing point. I want the angle of the line to be correct. If I try to just eyeball it, it will not be accurate. We want it to be accurate. Now I want these two lines to be parallel with each other. So again, I'm making sure that the line I'm creating with this one is parallel with my first fence post. So I'm going to just put the line between these two. I'm gonna thicken it up just a little bit. I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing. I'm doing it again. I'm looking at my vanishing point. I'm lining it up with the other parts of my fence And every time I do it, I'm making these just a little bit shorter, okay? Because as things get farther away from us, they are going to be smaller and smaller, as we know. So these might be too similar right now. I'm going to shorten it by making this one overlap slightly, and then I'm going to shade it in. So keep doing the same. I'm going to make sure that these are parallel, and as I go, they're going to get closer and closer together. Okay, so they get closer and closer together each time. Okay, I'm going to make this one feel a little bit more 3D. I'm going to have a parallel line to my horizon line. So this line is parallel to my horizon line. And now this line is going to be parallel to my first fence post right here. So doing that gives it the impression that it has, that it's a 3D piece of wood. Now I might add some grass to the side of my road. All right, so you are going to erase those lines between your fence posts. Okay, those were our guidelines. So you're going to erase the ones on the bottom, and you're going to erase the ones on the top. All right, so you can still see my lines because I drew with them so darkly. I pressed quite hard on my paper, so you are able to see them. Something's off though right here, so I'm gonna try to fix that. Let's see here. So what should be happening right here, I'll zoom in on it for you. Let's see here. So right here, I should be able to see the top of my fence post. So I'm going to create a line that's parallel with this line. All your lines that you draw from left to right, they are your, let me put that up higher. All of these that go from left to right are your horizontal lines, okay? Okay, all your horizontal lines need to be parallel to each other. Parallel means that they will never ever touch. They will always be the same distance apart, no matter how far or long they stretch. They will always be parallel to each other. I'll write that word for you, parallel. So these two lines are parallel lines. Those are parallel lines, okay? It means that no matter how long they go to the left and to the right, they could go for miles and miles and miles. They will never touch each other. Whereas these two lines, the line on top and the line on bottom, you saw that they meet at my vanishing point. So they are not parallel lines. All right, so that's what I noticed, is that I should be able to see the top of my fence post, because my line of sight is above that post. So I am drawing two parallel lines. My line needs to be parallel with the one that's on the ground. So what I should have is I should be able to see the top of these fence posts, okay? We were mostly doing this lesson for you to see how to draw something that is moving away from you off into the distance, and how to draw it so that it is accurate, so that it is correct to what the human eye would see in nature. We would see it getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, okay? But the accuracy is in the angle. The angle needs to stay the same. Now on this side of our paper, let me zoom out, we are, instead of having fence posts, we are going to show trees.